With thousands of job losses, the news business is undergoing massive change. Valley View's Tiffany Lane has more on the story.
Cal State Northridge's Journalism Career Day on March 19th was unlike other years. Much of the topic of discussion was jobs and news being affected by the current economy. Many news organizations like the Los Angeles Times and ABC are laying off employees. Many journalism students, like Eileen Mansourian, are worried about the job market.
For me, I'll be graduating in a year. I'm extending graduation for one of the reasons that the job market is looking pretty bleak right now.
With times changing, a technological revolution is taking place. Univision reporter Julio Cesar Ortiz, whose company cut nearly 300 jobs last month, says there will be many changes in the news over the next 5 years.
We're going to be able to have newsrooms out of homes. Journalists will be broadcasting news from their offices. They will be broadcasting videos, interviews, without even going to the field interview.
Just different technology.
KVEA reporter Maria Garcia's company has also seen many changes, with 5 newsroom employees laid off this month.
I think journalism got hit this year by 2 things, not only one: the economy and the technology catching up. And that combination is making that this industry is, it looks like we're struggling more and there's more changes than in other industries, perhaps.
It is uncertain if and when there will be a reversal in the economy. Until then, journalists must do what they do best: provide the news. In Northridge, I'm Tiffany Lane with Valley View News.
Sales of existing homes rose last month at their fastest pace in almost 6 years. The National Association of Realtors said sales were up more than 5% from January. Most of the homes were sold for foreclosures or short sale transactions. The median listing price for homes in California rose for the first time in 3 years.
Million-dollar payroll and record-setting accomplishments aren't enough to keep some sports memorabilia shops open. Valley View's DeJuan Hogard visited one of these shops.
Emptiness. Northridge Sports Memorabilia and Collectibles has been around for decades and has never seen the store this barren. Magic Johnson, a fan favorite wherever he goes, hangs on the wall on this Thursday afternoon for no one to see. Despite the rough economy, store owner Brian Sanders insists on being optimistic.
Yeah, my regular customers still do come in. They slow down on their purchasing, but they still do come in, and I have got some new customers, and a lot of things have slowed down a little bit.
And it's not just sports collectibles. The Beatles, Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, and others line the wall of one of the oldest sports stores in Northridge. Trading cards of President Barack Obama, old Western trading cards, and even the more familiar are collecting dust on these shelves. Sanders says his bid board, which allows customers to come in and bid on various cards, keeps his guests coming through the door on a consistent basis. But not today. And when things get really slow, Brian Sanders says he passes his time simply by framing jerseys. Reporting in Northridge, DeJuan Hogard for Valley View News.
After the break, updates on 2 fatal plane crashes.
And a report on Natasha Richardson's funeral. A plane crashed into a cemetery in Butte, Montana, killing all 14 people on board. No black box was found on the plane, which will make it difficult to determine the cause. 7 children and 7 adults were aboard the plane. One woman saw the plane go down.
When you see it on TV, you go, oh my God, that's awful. When you see it in real life, you go, oh my God, that's more than awful.
The plane crashed only 500 feet short of its destination in Bozeman, Montana.
A FedEx cargo plane crashed last Monday while landing at Tokyo's Narita Airport, killing the pilot and the co-pilot. Runway cameras caught the accident as it unfolded. The plane bounced twice before veering left and bursting into flames. Rescue officials pulled the 2 American crew members from the plane, but they were pronounced dead at the hospital. Japan's Ministry of Transportation said this was the first fatal crash at Narita since its open in 1978. Officials say that strong winds may have played a role in the crash.
And now, here's Tiffany Lane with a look in the entertainment world.
Funeral services were held in upstate New York last Sunday for actress Natasha Richardson. Richardson's husband, Liam Neeson, and 6 other pallbearers carried the casket to the church. The actress died from severe brain trauma after a ski accident in Quebec. Richardson was laid to rest facing her grandmother, Rachel Redgrave, better known to some by her stage name, Rachel Kempson. Warner Brothers has announced they will begin releasing vintage films on DVD. Consumers will be able to choose from over 150 vintage titles, such as Cary Grant's Once Upon a Honeymoon. The films are available for purchase on the Warner Brothers website for about $20 or can be downloaded for $15. The retrial of famed music producer Phil Spector has resumed this week. Spector is accused of shooting and killing actress Lana Clarkson in his Hollywood home. Both sides are expected to deliver closing arguments in the second round of trials against Spector. Spector and his attorneys contend that Clarkson committed suicide with his gun. If found guilty, he could face anywhere from 2 years to life in prison, depending on the ruling. In honor of Woodstock's 40th anniversary, free concerts may be coming to New York and Berlin this summer. Co-founder Michael Lang says the environmentally friendly concerts will take place on August 15th and 16th, as long as sufficient funding is raised. The show will include performances by Santana, The Who, and possibly the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Dave Matthews Band. The family of poets Ted Hughes and Sylvia Plath encountered another tragedy. Their son Nicholas Hughes lost his battle of depression to suicide. Nicholas Hughes was 47 years old. His sister says he hung himself in his Alaskan home. Hughes' mother also committed suicide when he was an infant. Nicholas was a marine biologist at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Battlestar Galactica, the television show that held up a mirror to post-9/11 politics and paranoia, is coming to an end. The show aired for 4 seasons. Its finale was aired on Friday. Executive producer David Eck says the ending of the show brings him a combination of sadness and relief. This was the second rendition of the show. The original Battlestar Galactica aired from 1978 till 1980. Actor Bruce Willis has married a model 24 years his junior. Willis recently celebrated his 54th birthday. He married British lingerie model Emma Hemming. And that's it for entertainment. Back to you, Kristen.
UN investigators are saying Israel violated a range of human rights during its invasion of Gaza in January. A 43-page report detailing the atrocities was submitted to the UN Human Rights Council. The report accused Israeli soldiers of using an 11-year-old Palestinian boy as a human shield, bulldozing a home with a woman and child inside, and bombing a building they had just ordered people into. Palestinian officials say over 1,400 people were killed in the invasion, and 960 of them were civilians. Israel says the report is part of a pattern of demonizing Israel.
Alaska's Mount Redoubt erupted earlier this week. This was the volcano's 5th eruption since coming back to life earlier this month. Redoubt was last active 20 years ago. The eruption cloud reached an estimated 50,000 feet. It's expected that the ash will blow north and past west of Anchorage.
India's Tata Motors has announced production of the world's cheapest car. The 4-door Nano will be available in July for $2,000. The automaker says the car will be available through reservation. Tata Motors is accepting requests from April 9th to the 25th.
Up next, sports including coverage on the March Madness.
And a nonprofit organization is fixing and giving away computers.